Okay. The Regular Beer Project looks at Genesee Cream Ale. Yes, I know. I just did Genesee Cream Ale Revisited last night. So this is the third Genesee Cream Ale video, but Elizabeth's never tried it, and she wanted to try it. So we could call this what Elizabeth tries Genesee Cream Ale.
Sure.
I've been buying this for about 10 years or more on the East Coast, usually in Tallahassee, Florida. I did buy a tall 24-ounce can somewhere on the East Coast. And someone told me they've got them at Dorignacs on Veterans in Metairie. I said, no, that's not sold around here. And then he took a picture. Mike Pawpaw Peters took a photo at Dorignacs and said, look, it's on the shelf. And I went there and I saw it yesterday, first time, and I said, oh yeah, it's $5.69 for the 6-pack.
It's cheap.
It shows a little 2, 4, 6. It shows a little barley sprig.
It's cute.
And it's the 1960 label. Could you hold this for me?
I saw some socks that had the little hops, like they were like little pictures of hops on the socks.
The little buds. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were cute.
Yeah. Now
Sorry,
this is showing the barley. Now Genesee Brewing Company of Rochester, New York, was established in 1878.
Pretty old.
Yeah. And their cream ale came out in 1960, and then Genesee Ice came out in 1994. I don't remember when Genesee Light came out. I think it was 1978.
I've never heard of this beer before.
Yeah, it's just a family name, Genesee.
Who owns it?
Well, like a lot of companies, the family sells out, and it was bought by North American Beverages, and then a few years ago it was sold to Florida Ice and Farm, which is a Costa Rican-owned company.
Okay.
So the Genesee family, just like the Bush family, no longer owns Anheuser-Busch, and the Miller family no longer owns Miller, and the Pabst family no longer owns Pabst, and the Schlitz family no longer owns Schlitz. And the Coors family actually does own half of Coors.
Well, that's nice.
But, it's that same thing. Nothing unusual in the world of beverages and food. So, you never heard of Genesee. Now, when we were on a road trip in 1997 in Hot Bottom, Pennsylvania, we stopped at a little roadside restaurant, and they had Genesee, the regular Genesee, the regular beer. And I had that with a baked chicken dinner. You probably don't remember that trip.
No. I've heard of
You were
Genesee
4.
Croix.
Yeah. Genesee what? All right. Now, anyway, pretty thick head, and it's a kind of a burnished gold appearance, don't you find? It's not. It's darker than a regular lager beer, isn't it?
Pretty yellow, though.
It's got a lot of sediment in there. Look at all the little particles.
I guess I see what you mean about gold.
Yeah, it's more gold. If I poured a regular Genesee beer, it would be more yellow, straw. It would be more straw. This is more gold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like the New Orleans Saints football helmet. Now, you see all that little particle? You see all the little particles floating about?
Yes.
And that's not even direct sunlight. You were worried about the sun making your eyes squint, but now the clouds have returned.
The wind is, I can actually smell it from here, just from the wind.
Now, this is a cream ale. Do you know what a cream ale is?
No.
It's sort of an odd type beer. It's like a hybrid between a lager and an ale.
Yeah, I thought it would be creamy.
Between a lager and an ale. Not too many companies make cream ales. They have the Lord Chesterfield Ale from Yuengling. They have Pabst make something called a Ballantine cream ale. In Louisiana last year they started making Kingfisher cream ale in a little company, Chafuncta Brewery. So it's sort of a rare style. If you get on the internet and read about it, it's supposed to be like more flavorful like an ale, but smooth like a lager.
Okay.
And they make, the last video I said Michelob Golden, but it's, when I watched the playback, no one noticed it yet. It's Molson Golden. It's something they made in Canada like that. Ale, but they take an ale 50% and lager 50% and just mix them. But this
when I heard cream ale, I was thinking almost like you were talking about that beer. It was like a chocolate milk.
Right.
Beer.
No, this
is
no. This is made with water, barley malt, hops, yeast, and probably corn as a filler. But it's got a creaminess to it. It's kind of when you smell it, it's going to have a weird smell.
Let's see.
And a weird flavor. It's hard to describe unless you actually drink it.
Smell the corn.
I mean, it's a lot different to me than, like, say, a regular American beer.
I actually pretty mild smell.
Yeah. Now, these stubby bottles are new. They used to have just the standard bottles. I mean, this is kind of like the original bottle. And these used to be very common in Canada in the 1970s, but it's sort of like making a comeback. These strange little, they're the same size as regular beer bottles. Okay. You notice anything odd about it, or it just smells more standard to you?
I mean, it's pretty mild. There's not that much going on that I can detect. Like I said, at first, like, smelled kind of corn.
Yeah, it's not
corny
ultra
smell.
bold. It's a very popular beer up north, okay? Obviously down here it just arrived, so no one even knows about it. Let's go with the flavor.
It does taste creamy.
Yeah, you see what I mean? It's like, if you don't try it, you don't know. You think you know, but
It
you
looks
don't
like old
know.
watery light beer, so I was a little skeptical, you know. Y'all know how I feel about light beers.
Yeah, it's not a light beer. It's a regular beer.
The only light beer I would drink, is Bud Light Platinum, and that's barely light.
Yeah, that's
But it's good
not really a light beer.
with some crawfish or something. It's not something that I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna have a Bud, you know. It's,
Bud Light Platinum is more like a malt liquor.
yeah.
It's like a light-bodied malt liquor.
You just really taste the corn.
On this?
Yeah.
You tasting corn?
I get the corn. I think maybe that's what I'm tasting. It's kind of weedy.
They probably use corn. Now, I'm picking up the hop bitterness. There's a background bitterness.
Yeah, but it's not a lot. There's not.
The bitterness units is 12. Okay? You know, an IPA, which you don't like, you know, they're very bitter. They're usually around 60 IBUs. This is 12. Budweiser's around 12.
This
Yep.
isn't an American beer?
Yeah, it's made in Rochester,
Oh,
New York.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
You had the honey brown lager, didn't you?
Tastes like an American beer, huh?
Didn't you have the honey brown lager?
Yes.
It's made with honey.
Yes.
I don't know if you had bottles of it. I had a can of it.
I had a bottle, and it was. I think that's the one I told you about that I liked a
Bought
lot.
at Rouse's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it at Dorgnek's, but apparently that's been around for a while. That's also made by the same people. It's
That's
a lager
better.
made with honey.
It was really good. I mean, this is easily drinkable. I do like the mouthfeel, that kind of creaminess.
Yeah, it
that I
has a
didn't-
creaminess in the mouth.
That I didn't really expect. Like,
Yeah, now, but when you see cream ale, you're thinking maybe it's made with some kind of milk,
yeah,
milk
some
sugar or something.
creamy.
No,
No.
that's just what they call it
That's
because
a-
it has a creamy aspect to
So
it.
that's a little misleading, but
It has a creamy aspect, but
it's a good mouthfeel, but it's not particularly like full or complex flavor, or, you know, like you said, it's not bold. It's not
if you
really
drank,
a flavor that I would sit here and mull over.
yeah, if you drank Little King's cream ale from Cincinnati, I don't know if you'd like that. They come in those little 7-ounce bottles. Or 8-ounce bottles. I don't really like that stuff. It's like metallic and harsh. It's
I
like,
don't- yeah, I don't like that. I know you said today is the first day of Carnival. This would be a good beer to get at your little Mardi Gras parade parties, your little barbecues, because it's cheap. How much was it for the 6-pack?
I think it was $5.69 plus tax.
That's cheap for a 6-pack. It's you know, it's creamy. If you're like me and you're not big on light beers, but you don't want something heavy to be like drinking with your barbecue or your crawfish or whatever, this would be a good choice because it's refreshing, but it's not like just some bland, nasty corn chip.
So you're not
beer.
saying, like, you were ripping on Busch Light one time, saying you didn't like it.
Keystone Light.
Yeah, so you know that's kind of like Keystone Light and Busch Light are kind of
Natty
like
Light.
Yeah, those are like University of New Orleans party beers, right?
Not the parties I go to, but probably.
Generally. Okay.
You know, like the little freshmen who've never really drank beer before, and it's just kind of like.
Right. So, but this would be something that you would introduce that would have a little more flavor.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably still not something I would go out of my way to drink, but
Okay.
I'm saying like. You're eating some spicy food, or you want something refreshing, something easy to drink. You're hosting the party, you want something cheap that you can let your friends drink, but that's not going to be embarrassing like if you bought Natty Light. You know, this would be a good choice. And if you're in Louisiana right now, since this just came out, it'd be kind of like a novelty. People would be like, oh, what's that?
Right, because of
Probably.
the weird bottle and the
So, you know.
newness. Now, let's.
So they'll probably excuse you for not buying a Vita.
Yeah, and Can you really say a Beta has any more flavor than this in most cases? But,
I mean, dependent on the beer.
right. I mean, I like a Beta Golden personally. But anyway,
I'm saying people down here, you know,
they're fixated on the Beta. I know. As a point of reference, though, last month, back in December, we did the
last year.
Yeah, we did the Golden Knot from Blue Moon, which was made with the wine. How do you think this compares with that? You know, it's a wheat ale, 100%
I mean,
wheat.
you almost can't compare them. Like,
Just as far as straight up, I know it's a different style, straight up taste. Like if you had to choose between that and this, and the price was the same, in your case, the same since you didn't buy it. But how would you compare it? As far as what would you rather have?
I mean, I'd probably rather have this just because that other stuff was just... Now, like we talked about it after we did the video, and that it kind of got a little better as you drink it. It wasn't as bad, but, you know, I don't really want to pick up a beer and be like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a good
Okay,
sign.
well, how about the... Yeah, right, when you go...
So I'd probably rather this. I could just go get some...
How about this against...
Like a burrito or something and just...
Right, how
go.
about this against Blue Moon? I'm not trying to push this.
I'd
beer.
rather Blue Moon. Like 100% rather Blue Moon.
The regular old Blue Moon.
Oh
okay.
yeah, some orange slices. That's what you do. Later today, I'm going to drink some Hoegaarden. I got some fresh lemons.
Hoegaarden, okay.
Nice. I love Hoegaarden.
Belgian.
See, when I think of, to me, that's a light beer. It's not like light like this, like water beer water. But it's like, to me, if I want to drink a lighter beer, it's going to be something. It's going to be Blue Moon or Hoegaarden.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Those are similar.
Because they have an interesting flavor. It's like, if I'm going to drink a soda, I'm probably not going to get like a Diet Coke or something. I probably would drink like a root beer or Dr. Pepper. Because for me, that's just like a little more flavor. And if you're going to drink a soda anyway, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to drink a beer anyway, why not have something that's a little...
Yeah, okay. Right, I understand what you're saying. So, now we've drank a lot of regular beers. So how do you think this holds up against regular beers like Budweiser, Coors, Miller High Life, Pabst Blue Ribbon? I know you don't really actually drink those a lot, but
yeah,
sort of in
I
this,
barely
that
remember
realm.
what the other ones taste like, to be honest. Pabst, though, I do have occasionally.
Your friend Matt likes to drink Schlitz and Pabst. He's a graduate from University of New Orleans.
Matt
How do you think he would like this?
Very often comes back with. He would probably like this. He drinks a lot of Pabst, and I think Pabst you can kind of taste the corn more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this has more alcohol than Pabst and Schlitz.
And Pabst, I think, has a little bit more that, like, it's a little bit more bubbly. Maybe there's a little bit more carbonation, and you drink, you know, you pop the can open.
Could be.
I don't know. I haven't had one in a while because I don't really drink Pabst unless I'm at a party, and that's what is there. Like, I wouldn't go buy it, really. Y'all would be shocked to know that the other night I actually bought a Bud Light Platinum. Because I was eating some fried fish, and it just goes with that kind of thing. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I think Bud Light Platinum is a beer that was made optimally, however you say that word, for fried fish.
Yeah, I think this is a little
fried shrimp, boiled crabs.
thicker than Pabst because it's got that kind of cream.
Yeah, and
mouthfeel.
It is more calories than Pabst, and it's more alcohol. Than
Almost
Pabst.
syrupy.
But it's less alcohol than Bud Light Platinum.
It's not syrupy, but I'm saying it's a fuller. So I mean, this is cheaper than Pabst, too, isn't it?
No, they're around the same.
They are around the same.
Yeah, and one more thing before we shut this off, because we could go on and
Maybe
on.
this is the new New Orleans hipster beer. Who knows? Maybe that.
Maybe we could commiserate forever. But
Yeah.
As a point of reference, you can get Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor at Dorgnac's, the same place I bought this beer, for $5.69. You can get Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor for $3.99 for a 6-pack of 12-ounce bottles.
This has less of an aftertaste than Pabst, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Go along with that.
I mean, if we had them next to each other, that'd be better because I could really
Yeah, and you've
compare.
never had Mickey's.
No.
But you really were raving a few months ago about the Steel Reserve triple export high
That they don't
gravity.
sell in Louisiana.
Right, in the black can.
That was so good. Yeah, I liked that.
What can I say about that, folks? All right, thank you for coming. No, you didn't come down to Louisiana. But thank you for watching this video production, and you come on down to southeastern Louisiana.